Wait, are these two... Oh! Hello, Traveler in Paimon. Pardon me, are you looking for Timaeus?
No, just strange for him to not be around. Paimon always sees him standing here.
I see. He was called away by Albedo a little while ago. I was called over to attend to the store. If you need any help, just call my name. If not, I'll be reading a book. Over there.
Thanks. No worries, we're all clued up on the basics of alchemy, aren't we?
I guess it's no surprise coming from the one who repelled Storm Terror. Actually, since it's you, I bet you're someone who'd be able to help Albedo.
There's that name again. Albedo. You and Timaeus mentioned him the last time we met, right? Is he also an alchemist in Mondstadt?
Apologies. I never introduced him. Albedo is the Knights of Favonia's chief alchemist. He's also Timaeus and my teacher.
But Paimon's only ever seen Timaeus teaching alchemy. So that means Albedo is a teacher?
Yes. He's dedicated himself to investigating the truth of this world, and has made many an important breakthrough. We often get alchemists coming to Mondstadt from all over Teyvat, seeking his help. They say that the subtlest of guidance from Mr. Albedo helps him to solve the most unfathomable of problems.
Wow! Paimon didn't know he was such a big deal!
Still, it seems that he's encountered a problem in his research recently. Every time I see him, he has a concerned look on his face. I'm sure that Albedo would love to hear about your incredible exploits. I know it would bring him lots of new inspiration. Albedo is a true gentleman. He'll be sure to pay you back in equal measure for helping him out. I don't see why not. Testing the limits of living beings' capabilities is one of Albedo's areas of research, after all. Albedo and Timaeus will be conducting research in the mountains right now. I'd love to take you both to see him, but somebody has to attend to the store. I'm afraid you'll have to go to the entrance to the pass and look for him by yourselves. Look out for a refined gentleman with the presence of a true scholar. And... sorry. That's the best I can do. You'll have to do your best.
Hey, stop worrying. We got this. Sucrose is a whole lot less nervous once she gets talking about alchemy and research, huh? Is that what all researchers are like?
Sister Rosaria! So here you are! Choir practice is about to...
I've told you already, I don't go in for that kind of thing. I've got more important matters to attend to.
Oh, but this event has commemorative significance. The church hopes that all sisters will be present.
Hopes? That's odd, because I don't recall a fulfill the hopes of others clause in my job description.
I mean, sure, but...
But what? You're the event organizer, aren't you? Do you not find it the least bit odd?
What do you mean?
This far out from Mondstadt at this hour? Even if you set out right now, I'll wager you'd still miss the opening ceremony. Who knows?
Huh? Well, that...
Evidence decides what people are like, not your feeling. Don't fret. Nobody's gonna blame you if you go back empty-handed. I can't imagine anyone else was delusional enough to think I was gonna show up. But if you dally any longer, you really won't make it.
You're right. It's a very important commemorative event. If I'm late, then... right, I've gotta get going.
Seems...
I thought I heard something. Who are you and why are you eavesdropping?
We'd better watch out. She seems like a dangerous villain, or a trickster at best.
Oh, really? I'm a member of the long-standing Favonius Church. You're an eavesdropping pixie from who knows where, and you think I'm the trickster?
Wait, she heard that? Paimon was whispering so quietly.
And as for this outlander you seem to be following... So it's you. The honorary knight that saved us from storm terror. Well then, given your status, I won't press you on your reasons for eavesdropping. Otherwise, depending on your answer, I could have arrested you on the spot.
What? Do the Sisters of Monster have the authority to arrest people now?
We can't go turning a blind eye to hidden dangers, can we? Why shouldn't sisters have a sense of justice?
That doesn't sound right. But Paimon can't think of a good comeback.
Let's talk about you. What are you doing in the mountains? If it's him you're after, I made a point of noting his tracks. Many people have made their way up after the snowstorm. Let's hope they're still there.
So, are you also looking for him?
No, this is just a professional habit of mine. I sensed elemental traces in these tracks. It never hurts to be vigilant. I couldn't care what you think. Come on then. I'd like to see what he's up to anyway.
Rosaria said there were...
Into the wind!
Want a taste of my armor? Should replace my hammer.
Faithful offering.
You know, little pixie, your ability to appear and disappear at will is very interesting.
Yeah?
After committing a crime, you'd be able to leave the scene without a trace.
You're so suspicious. Why is Paimon a criminal in your example?
Wind knows me.
It's not waste time.
It's
Stars, shine for me. The night is cold.
one with nature.
This is bad. This first. I guess this is it to work. Quiet.
Brings a smile to my face.
It's getting colder and colder. Rosaria, aren't you freezing?
Me? I'm alright. I got used to operating in adverse conditions a long time ago.
Huh? Seems like there's more to being a sister in the Favonius Church than Paimon realized. Is that albedo? Why would he hang around a place like this?
The word on the street is he loves painting. He'll hang around anywhere for a good landscape. The views and scenery here are pretty good. Potential paintings everywhere you look.
But can't he see those hilly churls? Isn't he in danger? Uh-oh. Looks like we startled them. Enough talk! Let's take them out of the picture first!
Who are you? Why did you alarm them? Thank the gods I'd already completed my painting. Would have been a shame to leave these particular hilly churls unfinished.
What's up with painting hilly churls? What makes them so interesting?
I'm afraid the answer isn't easy to explain. If you'd like to have a look at my painting, it may give you a clue.
Wow! Look at the detail! But some of it seems to have been done in a hurry.
You can find these hilly churls anywhere. Quite boring, in fact. Not worth closer inspection. But take a look at this specimen. The build, the coat, and there's a distinct force at work here. In the cyclical lives of such primitive communities, such unique attributes are an indication of evolution at work.
Hold your horses. Ugh. Something tells me we're in for a thesis and I haven't got the stamina. We found your man. I'm headed back.
What? Don't you have any questions for him? What a weirdo.
So Sister Rosaria brought you. Surprising. And I didn't have time to thank her. But back to the point. From her words, it seems that you were looking for me?
We met a girl in Mondstadt, Sucrose. She said you were stuck with your research.
I see. So Sucrose sent you here. Then, if I'm not mistaken, you must be the honorary knight. You've got the whole of Mondstadt talking. I've heard a bit of everything. Your actions during Storm Terror's attack, your elemental control, and quite a few other mysterious things. I'll skip to the conclusion. There's only one possibility after all. You came from afar. Excellent. If I could procure your assistance, I think my research would benefit enormously. Forgive me. This must be confusing. Where should I begin? The essence of life?
Whoa! You wanna...
For example, awakening life. Breathing new life into fallen leaves.
You can do that?
However, I have a particular seed in my possession. The method I'm talking about has produced no results. It's like you, in that it hails from another world. Helping it to grow, to bloom. That's the problem my research is up against. That's where I need your assistance.
Well, if you're struggling to...
I beg to differ. But you're not from the known world. By
shall we just get out of here?
It's possible. But time for a change of surroundings. We should be...
Albedo and that traveler seem to have hit it off. Takes a weirdo to know one, I guess. I wonder, does this constitute a risk to Mondstadt?
question. After the seed sprouts, will it grow into anything?
I don't know. But I feel the importance will lie in the method, not using alchemy after awakening. Still a little difficult to understand?
No! Paimon's got a brain! But what's the...
Well, if it turns out to...
Yay! Paimon's holding you to it.
Well, let's just say I, occasionally have to look after a child. Another lengthy explanation, I'm afraid. I suppose it's one of the few non-alchemy related disciplines I'm any good at. The subject of my first research was the elements. In this world, how you're able to freely manipulate elemental power is something I'd like to ascertain. I've got a few... Firstly, do you have any extra organs? A second heart? A fourth stomach? Things of that nature. Fascinating.
What a stupid question! Can't use... And another thing! It's Paimon, not floating child!
I was merely considering the possibility that you were an external organ. Perhaps there is some invisible force connecting you. Oh, that rules out that possibility. But that would mean that Paimon's elemental power would be enough to break through a mountain rock at least 10 meters thick, or cause the waterfall south of Springville to flow backward.
Hey! How would...
In that case, it would have... Given that there's clearly a discrepancy in the research, it seems that... Firstly, this mysterious elemental power. Let me lure a few slimes to the air.
Huh?
Direct and clear observation are... Naturally, if you require...
Slimes! Slimes are fine!
Well, prepare yourself.
One with nature. Clouds high. The birds call.
Out of the frying pan, into the fire!
The wind knows me.
Nice and spicy!
As one with wind and cloud.
My guiding stars!
Into the wind.
Great work. Did you feel anything out of the ordinary? If you're injured, I have a few emergency potions ready. Excellent. According to my observations, the manifestation of the external elemental flow is as expected. Elemental reactions are normal. Now that we know that the external flow...
Internal flow?
It's very simple. If the elemental power is stored or accumulated physically within your body, this potion may elicit an elemental reaction.
Sounds kinda terrifying.
Don't worry. In the normal course of events, you'd feel some temporary queasiness. No bottle.
And in the abnormal course of events?
If anything unexpected occurs, I've made the necessary preparations. Try not to worry. Well, it's not that there aren't any risks involved. But if there is anything blocking your elemental flow, we'll be able to locate it with this test. Just a warning. If an internal elemental reaction occurs for any other reason, that's a bad sign. Yes, that's an excellent way to think about it. It's a type of ore known as star silver, but unfortunately not all of it is suitable. I'll take you to my campsite. We can gather some star silver ore on the way. I'll point out any likely contenders. All going to plan.
Paimon's still good. Let's keep our eyes open.
Time to go.
Here. Should do for catalyst purposes.
One with nature. Clouds high. The birds call.
This one. Usable with a bit of polish.
Into the wind.
What luck. This should be enough. My campsite is just up ahead. I'll lead the way. This is my campsite. I've added the materials we collected to the concoction. While we are waiting, have a look over here. My assistant Timaeus here is helping me with my research.
Hello! I think the most rational direction would be to expound on the... following this line...
Not bad for a point of entry. But strictly speaking, slimes are elemental life forms. In other words, beings consisting entirely of the elements. A cryoregis slime, or even a wildflower might be a better analogy. But tracing back the phylogenetic relationships between plants and animals, you might have to trace back to the world's origins. In that sense, things might get difficult, don't you think?
Yes, sir. That sound...
After all, we've got our primer... If it turned out that he did have a phylogenetic relationship with...
Ah, it would. Speaking of data...
Great, I'll leave you to it. Looks like the potion's ready. I'll try a little first. If all goes well, I'll hand it over to you. In line with my... I've just tried some. It's in line with my expectations. Remember to keep calm at all times, and breathe deeply if you feel unwell. I'll be noting down all observable results and data points. Remember to keep calm at all times, and breathe deeply if you feel unwell.
Tasty? You've got a funny look on your face. You said you tried some already. You sure it was ready? What happened to him?
Oh, this was the result I was expecting. And a very positive one at that. This potion channels elemental power into the body. Under normal circumstances, a repelling reaction is to be expected. But if the internal elemental flow is unimpeded, you'll only experience momentary discomfort.
So you knew you'd be sick and still drank some?
It was my own concoction, of course. Only natural for me to be the guinea pig. Perhaps it's just scholarly self-assurance. In conclusion,
Oh, Paimon wanted...
Then again, better an ordinary result than a peculiar result. The good thing about ordinary is that everything isn't... People are the same. They can understand, empathize, encourage, and support one another. When you're sick, a doctor can diagnose you because they are you. When something goes wrong, you can ask people who've made the same mistake for their experience because you are them. But a peculiar person, they don't have much recourse for the things we take for granted. The essence of their life is fundamentally different. For example, a human can't understand the life of a pyroregis vine, or an eye of the storm. Have I explained it clearly enough? To sum up, this has been a positive outcome. Going forward, you can use your elemental power without fear. Timaeus, the results of the new experiment are out. If you could see to collating them.
Just a moment, sir. I'll handle it. You gave me a lot to consider. Having you down as an animal wasn't very precise of me, but starting with the premise of an elemental life form?
Not bad. I think it's an...
You can count on...
Is he trying to join the Knights? He's starting to sound like a sucker. What Paimon meant to say was...
Before we can if you're interested, why not have a look around? It may help to pass the time.
Here comes Albedo! Let's go see him!
I'm back. Did you see anything interesting? Not to worry. They're all for alchemical purposes. Well, on with the research. There may be significant differences between different worlds. Take Tevat, for example. Here, though, but worlds may well exist where So, leaving elements to one side. Do you possess any... unique abilities? Ones that don't exist in this world? I think answering this question calls for the same methodology as last time. In other words, time for the next experiment. No. You shan't be required to exert quite so much effort this time around. Now, see this pillar here? Use your willpower to try and break it. That was your best effort? Well, can't be helped, I suppose.
What's with the disappointment? Isn't that, like, impossible?
Have you tried using your elemental power with food? I don't mean for cooking as such. Rather, channeling your power into the ingredients themselves. I'm curious to see how the taste and texture respond. Anyway.
Cooking? Paimon...
Not only is this recipe
Paimon bits... That does sound yummy, though. Good, but...
I'll leave you to it then, if there's anything left.
Paimon doesn't think we'll have that problem. How are we gonna channel elemental power into the food? Maybe try... Where does he get these ideas from anyway? Let's just do it the old-fashioned way.
That was fast. An average outcome experimentally. As far as the proliferation hypothesis is unless...
We just didn't know how to channel elemental power into the food. It's a little more complicated than adding herbs and spices, you know.
Not to worry. At least we put some food to good use. And here's your portion. Enjoy. I can box it up.
Woohoo! Thanks! Glad you were paying attention.
I can tell that you're good friends. Paimon was keeping an eye on you and your safety during the whole experiment. Not that Paimon would have been able to do much if things had gone wrong. But anyway.
Hey! You were being nice a second ago, but you do have tasty recipes, so Paimon forgives you. And you're right, we are good friends. You have good friends too, right? Good students?
Yes. I'm fortunate too, I suppose. Anyway, moving on. There are all manner of alchemical items. I managed to retrieve them.
Paimon's barely finished.
Don't worry if you can't locate them. I was planning to replace them anyway. If you had, say, a superpower, like night vision or vibratory sensing, lost property would be a thing of the past. I must have dropped them somewhere in...
So, guess we'd better take a look. Oh yeah! You could use elemental sight!
Time to go.
The extract of an animo crystal fly can only be animo elemental energy, right? This has gotta be it! Still in one piece! Good thing the vial's so strong! This must be electrohypostasis powder!
Goodness. You managed to find them. Incredible. 1,000 thanks. I'm wondering... This elemental sight... This is what allowed you to locate the items and find me here on the mountains, correct?
Yep! Guess it does sorta count as a superpower, huh?
Unfortunately, though elemental sight is seldom seen, it is not unheard of in Teyvat. Only a never-before-seen otherworldly power would be of benefit to my research.
You mean, we failed again?
Don't be disheartened. I have to commend your Right then. Up until now, our research has focused on your other... In essence, looking out from where we're standing. Can you see what Sucrose... And if you jump from here and landed on that cliff, the one over there, could you see her then? So what about if you planted a single blow on the mountain face here, and it burst into 1,000,000 fragments? Then could you see her? Then I shouldn't get too excited. Still, I know of a location that...
Time to go.
Out of the frying pan, into the fire! You want us to jump? From up here?
Not necessarily. Not if you know of a better method, that is. Whichever method you choose, the experiment will end when you reach the opposite. I will factor the time expended.
The opposite side.
Without limitation, some of us would be unable. No matter what choice you make, it's all a part of the experiment. Then if you would, please, I eagerly await the results.
Wait a minute! While we're busy testing, what exactly are you gonna be doing?
Me? Recording data, responding to risks, providing emotional support.
So If we do decide to go swimming, you gonna dive in with us?
No. Unless you're thinking of conducting competitive research?
Oh! Forget Paimon said anything.
Great work. I've never seen a performance quite like it. Your reputation precedes you, traveler. The data shows that you're...
But you followed us the...
Me? If it turns out that the natural laws of Tavad do not affect you, if the natural laws of the innumerable possibilities...
But how does this help your...
You've helped me to unravel many of the problems that were holding it back. I may be about to make old... The essence of the... I'm willing to pour all these things that start out as objects of fact.
Oh, so that's why you wanted...
Precisely. To quote my exact word.
So after all these
Of course not. You have... Now. Before... Follow me. There are some other ruins nearby.
Time to go.
I imagine you must have encountered more than a few conundrums during your travels. I'd like to observe your intelligence by means of a practical test of your capabilities. I'd like you to explore these ruins and return with your find. There are 2 puzzles located at the far. As with the physical test, there are no restrictions, but try it and test. So, let's see you in a... It's a complex environment, so proceed with caution.
Follow the wind. One with nature.
Sealy like these are a common sight in the mountains. Returning them to their rightful places is up to you.
Adorn my night! One with nature. Into the wind. The wind knows me. One with nature.
It should now be possible to activate the central mechanism. Exactly what will happen when you do is some... Oh, seems that the water level has suddenly decreased. We should be able to see what's in the water now. Let's have a look. What's this? To the best of my knowledge, these belong to a script of some kind. There's still a lot to learn about them. Let me make a copy first.
Another thing for the don't understand list. Seems like if you want the reward, you gotta pay the price.
I've truly gained a lot from all this. Let me return to the campsite first. By the time you get back, I may just have a fleeting miracle for you to witness.
Paimon's kinda looking forward to seeing the result of all this brain ache. Unless you can think of anything that...
Not so fast. You're not leaving until I'm convinced that nothing dangerous is going on here.
You didn't leave the mountain?
I most certainly did not. And I've witnessed everything that you and Albedo have been up to. I must say, you let your guards down. Or maybe you were drawn in by his compelling-sounding hypothesis and friendly demeanor. Taking orders from a complete stranger? Drinking anonymous potions? Participating in all kinds of strange experiments? I'd sooner believe you were tricked than that you would be so naive. Or perhaps, you were colluding from the beginning.
Sister Rosaria's guard's so high, she can't even see over the top of it.
It doesn't matter what you think. He could be a saint for all you know. But I understand him a little better than you, Outlander. I'm only concerned with one thing. Whether his alchemy has transformed you into something more sinister.
No way! Paimon would have sensed it! And anyway, he didn't even use any alchemy!
With an alchemist of his level, you wouldn't sense a thing. In any case, I'm not about to let a potential threat back into Mondstadt.
So, what are you gonna do?
I've gotta hand it to you. You have your moments. If I can be sure that nothing you came into contact with is dangerous, that's good enough for me. I've investigated everything else. The only items left on the agenda are these symbols.
But we don't even know what they mean.
That much is true. Not to mention, seems like there's nothing more to them. But for insurance purposes, I'd better make a copy. This is now a location of interest. Regular patrols should be set up here. Now then, all things considered, I deem that you pose no immediate threat, which is what I was hoping.
Over?
Before we go our separate ways, Outlander, a word of advice. Don't be so quick to trust Albedo, and don't repeat the same mistakes that you did this time. You made a lot of rash decisions today.
She's gone! So stubborn. Mondstadt doesn't have many people like that. Huh. Never mind her. Let's go see Albedo!
Time to go.
Sorry. But on the other, I'm just glad. If you want to hear...
You're back. Good timing. I've just about reached the conclusion. You took quite a while. Did you get held up on the way back? Time for the results. We got a myriad of data today, and it was very difficult to finish all the research in one go. But the integral preliminary conclusion that I can offer you is you're very much like a human from this world.
You couldn't tell that just by looking? We spent all day working our butts off for that?
Please, I understand that this may have seemed self-evident to you. Have you ever considered that the world of Tevat may have a natural hostility to Outlanders? I mentioned the natural laws of this world. The only other life form that, like you, has come here from afar is the sea. But imitating you helped to inspire my alchemy. And so...
Whoa! It looks like something's appearing!
the transition from nothing into something, from shoot to stem, and now to fruition. Is not nurturing otherworldly life also nurturing the world itself? It would seem that that's as far as we go.
Paimon thought, with all our efforts,
Life is a manifold tapestry of free entities. It's a short life can be well lived. So, do you understand what I meant about us conversing here, arguably
albedo, Paimon...
Thank you both. Your help inspired me to discover the means to make a flower bloom. I mean, at the time in the future, if the need arises, can I solicit your help again? Well, I made a point throughout of telling him how ordinary the results were. But what was that sediment I saw forming at the bottom of the vial? Those born of Earth are bound by its imperfections, but those born of chalk are free of impurities. You and I are alike, both composed of a substance that has yet to be full. If, one day, can I rely...